Okay, so now let me start with the presentation. And from whatever I've understood about your personal background and current mock scores, I'll try to address specific problems after the presentation is over. And I hope that you can inculcate some strategies, whatever works for you, you can keep exploring. So let me share the presentation. Thanks. So the idea is that we are at a certain percentile. Some of you told me 80, some of you are still below that, but it's okay. So they say that aim for the moon and you will land at least on the stars. So I think everyone should not be fearful when I asked you about your dream percentile. Focus on 99 plus percentile and keep telling your brain that the way I'm working and I have a strategy and I will achieve 99 plus percentile, and the entire presentation is focusing on that. So whatever percentile you're at, our aim is 99 plus. As I told you, I am Rohtak alumni and I have worked before my MBA and after my MBA, 2 years in IIM Rohtak. I worked for 8 years and across consulting, across a lot of edtech companies. And my experience I would love to share, but I want this presentation to be just about my preparation time and about the entire 4 month roadmap, nothing beyond that. So I have attached my own screenshot and I will talk about it like how my experience was when I was giving it for the first time. But the entire focus of this presentation will be across the three sections and across the overall mindset and overall energy that you need to have, your own self image for the next up till November 29th when the actual exam is. So we have almost just more than 120 days, but uh, those are enough. And I know a lot of students are preparing for more than a year, and a lot of students are probably just starting out. But what is the point of, comparing? And probably the entire focus should be that I've just started out, I have 4 months. What will I do? So, first of all, I always tell that you have to be very sure about why you want to do an MBA and keep it somewhere written so that if every time you're doubting yourself or a bad mock score is troubling you or you have a lot of responsibilities of college work and it is uh, kind of getting too much, always remember your why for your MBA and focus that for next 4 months. Let me just give it all and get some kind of personnel. And there's always another year. So who cares? Let me just focus what best I can do for the next 4 months. Top three from whatever my students have told me are that we want a bigger paycheck, and it's like money is a very big motivator, but at the same time to be able to step up in life and to see the best that the corporate or the entrepreneurship journey has to give, we are upskilling ourselves, and that is a very good motivator. A career switch, nobody knows what they want to do. I have struggled a lot in terms of finding, do I belong to a bank? Do I belong to consulting? Do I belong to edtech? Do I belong to entrepreneurship? So every time you knock a door and you have a good degree, the doors will open. I can't guarantee that, but people will at least take an interview, they take an interest because they see your degree and they know that he's a hardworking person, top 10% of our country, the best minds. So you get a very good chance of at least getting that first conversation, and then it completely depends on the scenario and the requirement. Third is the network, and it's very important because in those 2 years you meet again the best minds of the country, and they will be doing a lot of good things. Some of them will be founders, some of them will be working at very high leadership roles, and it always helps because I still get job notifications on the IM alumni network. And if there is someone who has worked with you, has partied with you, has worked on case assignments and case studies with you, when they become someone who can help you, they will not, doubt anyway, and you can be someone who is helping the other person. So that network is very valuable. A lot of people think that you need to master everything that is there in the entire exam, but I disagree because it's not about mastering unless you really want to start your own business where you want to teach, then you will master every part of it, right? But right now, your focus is how can I get the lowest hanging fruits? And every year, it becomes a little intimidating that almost 3 lakh students are giving the CAT exam. Where will I land? So there are so many colleges also, there are so many seats also, and we are not competing with everyone because not everyone is as serious as we are. So top 10%, if you touch like 90 percentile, magic happens beyond that, and we just have to do better than 90% of the people who are giving that exam. To give you some perspective, if you get 85 out of 204 last year CAT 2025, you're touching 99 percentile. So even less than half attempt is giving you the top, keeping you in the top 1% performers. So it's more about choosing the right questions and then making the best use of your time, practicing so much that your accuracy is very high. And we will talk about the entire journey, but the whole target is that I need to keep on giving mocks and keep on improving every day. And how are other people performing in that mocks is more important than how I am individually performing. So first, know the course, know the 2 hour format, the three sections, everything is on Google. So know the very basic of CAT exam, uh, because this is for serious aspirants. So I'm not gonna waste time telling you about the three sections and about what is the syllabus. I am assuming that everyone is well aware. So these are the three sections. Everything is 40 minutes each. It used to be 3 hours, now it is 2 hours, which kind of is a good thing because my brain is working for lesser hours, so it can work at a higher output. And you don't need to excel in all the three. Only thing that matters is your overall percentile. So it will start from VARC. It will end after 40 minutes and switch to DILR. It will end and switch to Quant. So I see it as three different exams. And I will share my own story when I was giving it and how it is very important to see it as three different exams. So the idea is that I am becoming a manager for this country, future managers of this country, and my mindset will get developed throughout this journey, and that will be evaluated in the entrance exams, that will be evaluated in my 2 years of MBA, in throughout life. So I am not just a CAT aspirant, I am a future manager of the country. So that is the attitude and the belief that you should have. So, three things. One is what to do every day. So, I have a very basic, if you're just starting out, doing one RC every day, doing one set of DI or one set of LR, and picking one quant topic every day. That is the basic that you can do, and it will take you 2 to 3 hours every day, and that is a commitment. If you can spend 2 3 hours every day, consistent efforts compound way more than taking a lot of breaks and then really studying a lot of hours in one day. That is good, but maintain at least 2.2.5 hours or 3 hours every day, and trust the process. Every time you're giving a mock and analyzing well, you are subconsciously training your mind for better performance. So you have to trust. If you are getting an 85 percentile and next time you're getting a lower percentile, it's not going to happen that it will keep getting lower. It has to increase at certain point of time. So it's just about number of total mocks that you give and how well you analyze. 2 hours spent in an exam and 4 hours spent analyzing the exam. That's how I have been preaching, and that has worked for me. And we'll come in detail later, but I want to keep it very simple, very direct. So I know it is struggle, and every time you are struggling, you're basically building your mind muscles, just like you go to the gym, hit the gym, and make muscles. Every time you're struggling for a new concept or a sectional test or a mock test, you are developing your own, how do I call it? You're developing your muscles of your brain. So I will divide it into two phases. One is from August to September. I know we are in July. This is just bonus days, but if I have to just keep it very simple, August is one, September is second, October is third, and November is fourth. And we can think about what to do in each month. So August to September, as I told you, basics is one RC, one DI set or LR set, and one quant topic. I will talk about a star method where you can put every one topic in a certain category and how to deal with it. I will come in detail and how to analyze and understand that what are your strengths, which topics really work for you every time. And then as soon as we touch October first week, it's very important to go all in with mocks. In fact, from one mock a week, we will switch to two mocks, three mocks a week, every alternate day, complete analysis. Every mock is CAT 2026. Every time your attitude should be that I take a good shower, sit in front of my laptop with a mindset that this is it, this is the final exam. I mean, this trains your mind to not get anxiety when you're giving the final exam. And it's like you've played so many test matches that on the day of real match, you have gone through that feeling so many times that it is no more overwhelming you. And I'm assuming that you have touched 80 percentile or you're very close to it. And let me tell you the path beyond 80 because you need to have at least basic understanding of the course of the entire syllabus if you're aiming at 2026. So let's go. So uh, the plan that I told you, let me talk about it in detail. Let's assume that you're just starting out and you have no idea where to start from, or uh, you are specific to one particular topic. Let's say you are struggling with verbal, so maybe you can just pick the verbal homework. So in verbal, every time I pick a reading comprehension, let's not go for any random book or go for any random article or try to build our vocabulary. Let's keep it very simple. From the last CAT years, especially when it turned into 2 hour format, pick one reading comprehension and spend good amount of time. I know in 40 minutes you have to target four, but target one if that is the mission of the day and give it a good read, like how to read it, how to analyze it. We will go one by one throughout the sections, but it doesn't matter. Just spend good 40 minutes in just one RC and check how your attempt is, how your accuracy is, and at least you will get one step closer to acing this section. We have to get in the minds of the author who is setting it, and we have to develop our gut, and it only develops when we keep on analyzing, keep on debating. One DI, one LR set, even if it takes like 40 minutes or 1 hour in one set, keep at it. Struggle as much as brain you can put into it, do it. Because once you go through that set in 1 hour, again, you're developing mind muscles. So, in fact, when you even go and see the solution and you find some aha moment, oh, this is how I should have approached, don't go to the entire solution and come back to the question and now try to solve. There are calculations involved, there are further logic involved. So, that will also train your brain. And if nothing happens, go to the solution, understand it entirely. But the whole idea is that you spend good amount of time in just one DI or one LR set and really train your brain. In quant, it's easier. It's the most beautiful section, most scoring section. And to keep it very simple, just pick one topic and make it all about it for that day. Watch whatever concept video you want to watch. And there's so many on YouTube. Um, and just come back to 5 to 10 good questions of that topic. If you're able to solve it, you know where to keep it in the star method. I will come to that. Let's go. First section is VARC, and I hope that you know that 70% is reading comprehension. And in fact, those summary questions are also on the same logic. So if you ace this one skill of reading comprehension, which is possible with practice, there's no magic formula to it, but you can think of leaving those odd one out, para jumbles, para summary, because at the end of the day, it's more important to focus on what gives you most bang for your buck. Like in those 40 minutes, if I am able to target all the RCs and I know my accuracy has been improving, maybe then whatever time I have left, I will pick from the other parts other than RC questions. But I left while I was preparing odd one out specially, but we'll come to that. So, as I told you, no need to go for leisure reading, reading novels and everything because time nahi hai. And no need to cram vocabulary because what are the odds that learning these new words will actually help me now? So, if I stumble upon a good word in reading comprehensions, which I'm doing, I'll just pick it in a notebook, keep it with me, and maybe come back to it. But and keep noting whatever I'm telling, whatever works for you. Make notes so that when you go back, you can at least try some of these strategies. And this is the right time to start making notes. So I really believe that you need to build your gut feeling because once you eliminate two options in every question of an RC, it's important that you really know my first thought. Like for example, there's a set. I read it. I will tell you how to go about a set in next slide. But if I read a question and I know there are four options, and I'm removing at least two options which I know are completely wrong, and then there are two options, and my first thought is, let's say A and B are eliminated. My first mind is saying that option C should be correct, and but when I really thought harder, I feel now option D, and now I'm confused. Pick option C because that is what your mind said for the first time, and it kind of worked for me. Try it. We are basically training our gut so that we can confidently um, trust that gut. So this is very important. Every time you see a reading comprehension, it can be of philosophy, it can be of science. So you already know that philosophy never works for me, and science related RCs are more interesting to me. So that is one way of filtering it. When you're reading it for the first time, don't read it, just skim through it. Like for example, if there are it's a long one and there are four paragraphs, just try to see what the author is overall saying. And now that you're sure that you are going to invest your time in that RC, then read it. And you can spend around say 5 minutes at least to read the entire paragraph. And if it is saying that all the philosophers in the Western world, especially in the 21st century, are struggling with how the world has changed, you understood that philosophers are struggling. That's it. So keep it like at least have some basic understanding of what it is saying. Then we'll go into details if when the question asks us to. So once you know that one paragraph is done, close your eyes and just try to remember what that whole paragraph has said and just write in your rough worksheet in one line. For example, in this, author is talking about philosophers, and let's say ahead he's saying that all these philosophers are struggling to match up with how the world is changing, and people are caring less about having babies, and they come from a school of thought that a man is not a man until they reproduce. That is the only target of evolution. So you can talk about like philosophers struggling, people mindset about babies changing, something which tells you that what was the crux of this paragraph. Now you map the four questions, and you, even if it's a bad RC, like a tough RC, there might be a low hanging question in it. So it's always important to read the questions and see what that question is saying, and not before the RC. First, always go with the RC and then go with the questions, and then decide if, as a with the time I have left, should I go beyond 5 minutes and should I invest more time in this reading comprehension. Now that you know that you have pointers of all the four paragraphs in one line, you go to the question and you will kind of get closer in finding that line in the whole paragraph because you know at least there's some mental math about the flow of that reading comprehension. So that was the purpose. Again, you might get it wrong, you might get it right, but when you were eliminating two options in every question, and when you analyze the solution and the answer is actually not in those two eliminated options, that is also great news. At least you're able to eliminate the options and you are getting closer. You're not saying a very um, completely wrong or blunderful option as correct. And even if that happens, it's fine. We are trying to understand the author's point of view. And at the end of the day, we are building a mindset which reflects how the author sets up the reading comprehensions. One bonus tip is use ChatGPT, use Gemini, use whatever AI tool you have access to, and put in that reading comprehension, put in that question, and just tell them that, I opted for option C. The author is saying option D. Let's debate and let it debate. Let's think about, how and why the entire thing works. And the idea is that the more I debate, I know it sounds like, sir, am I wasting too much time? No, we are building mental muscles. So if you do feel strongly about your option, you might just be correct. It could be an error also. So keep on debating, and at the end of the day, accept what the author is saying in a way that accept the logic behind what the author is saying, and that is again building your gut. So I hope it makes some sense, because I want you to only focus on reading comprehension. You don't need to prepare for the other parts like para jumbles, odd one out. Para summary is good, that is always good, but RC is something, there is no other option but to master this whole skill, and it will happen. This is the toughest section, DILR, and to be honest, tough for everyone. And I think they want future managers to understand where to put the energy, how to deal with complex issues with limited resources. For example, here, limited resources is the 40 minutes that we have, and they deliberately put one set which is not doable by anyone, and they put some questions of a particular set as the lowest hanging fruit. So they want to see that as a manager in pressure situations, are you able to keep a sane mind and make the best use of that time to score the highest? So again, when you talk about all these one day activities, by the end of the week, you will have 5, 6 RCs that you've done. You will have 5, 6, let's say 2, 3 DILR sets or 3 LR sets, and then you revisit them after the week is over. So in that way, even if you go on a smaller pool of questions, but you are analyzing them fully, revisiting them, that will give you more understanding, more output than doing 100, not analyzing and just overthinking it. So keep that uh, number of questions that you touch as small, but the juice out of them that you take, keep that maximum. Again, in LRDI, the whole thing is that there will be some good sets and you eat it whole because you've cracked it. For example, in DI, once you've done the calculations, you're getting the one question correct and you're very sure about your answer. There's very high chance that you can do the other three also, at least two. So in a good set, eat all four questions. And in a bad set, don't, like a doctor who's doing a surgery, open that LR set, do some kind of calculations, simplify the entire information in pictures, and then see that in this tough set, is there any one of the four questions that I can still do? Because I have invested time in it. So it's more like making the best use of all the situations. So good set, do all four. Bad set, at least try to do one or two. And it is easier said than done. Most of the time, it becomes very difficult, I understand. And I will tell you about when I was giving CAT 2016, that was the first time I was giving CAT. And I also left my job and I was like really aiming for good performance that day. And I prepared very well. I touched 99 percentile also in my mock test. So I was very confident, very sure. When the verbal section started, I increased my attempt to 100% in reading comprehensions. And because I've worked on my accuracy, I was feeling good that I have attempted a lot. All the RCs I've attempted, para summary also I've attempted, and I've left the others because I already knew that I'm not spending energy there. Sir, how can you do all three RCs? Because you have to increase your attempt to get a chance of increasing your percentile, provided that you have worked on your accuracy, and that is the only way. So when the DILR section started, I was very confident. But after half an hour, I realized that half an hour is left. I have only been able to solve three questions, four questions of so two questions in the first set, two questions in the second set, third set, and fourth set. I have to go, but I was not feeling good because in half an hour only four questions are done, and I started sweating. I started getting panicked, but then there is no point in panicking. And next half an hour, I went to the other two sets, could not at all understand one, and the other set I managed to do three. So overall, three plus two, seven questions I've done, and the entire hour is gone. So you can understand that how I was feeling at that time because this is not expected, but that year they deliberately made it so hard. So when Quant came, I again consoled myself, brought myself to energy, and I slayed in Quant. I got 99 percentile in Quant, 92 in DILR, and 94 in verbal. So overall 98.3, which is good enough. That day I was crying because how can I make a blunder of just attempting seven? But that day everyone was attempting very less. So you have to keep a very calm mind that I trust myself, and even if the DILR section is testing me, let me make the best use of this time. So your highest scoring section is quant, and this is my favorite section. This is why I want everyone to never have quant fear. So how do you go about it? Look at the entire syllabus, and it might look like there's so much to cover, but it's ninth and 10th maths mostly. So there's no big deal in it. Every day, pick one topic, do 5 to 10 questions of that particular topic. You can type on Google Cat previous year time and work questions, or you can go for whatever resource that you have. I also keep on populating my own website. So anywhere you go, you can easily find it. But the idea is that I want to judge what is my current level of preparation in that particular topic. And let's say that there are some topics that you have no freaking idea about. Every time you're doing it, you don't really are able to solve any of them. So we'll put them in one star. And all the topics that you slay, that you know every time, it becomes very easier because they start repeating at the end of the day. There are only certain type of questions you can make. So if you're very good at it, every time you're able to solve, put it in 3 star. And everything in between, 2 star. So 1, 2, 3. 1, very bad, not gonna work at all. 3, very good, always slay, my comfortable zone. And 2 star, everything in between. So let's go. Also remember that algebra and arithmetic, there are basically 5 topics, but algebra and arithmetic, they cover 70% of the entire syllabus, and their application is helpful in all the other types also. So there is no way that I'm leaving the topics of arithmetic or algebra. This is the star method that I was talking about, and the highest ROI is in the 2 star topics because I want to put them into 3 star, maximum of them. So what is the idea for start with these? So after 15-20 days, you will know in which list the my topic goes. Pick the 2 star topics, and now do 15 to 20. Not easy questions because easy is no more coming in CAT exam. They're trying to mix concepts, and they're trying to not have any question that has direct formula application or a certain type. So do medium to advanced questions only. Do 15 to 20 of them, and you will know that which question type you're struggling with. And then instead of going to academic videos or concept videos, go to the solution, and that is where you learn the concept. For example, let's say that simple interest, you are able to solve everything, but in compound interest you're struggling. Or let's say that there is a particular type of questions in simple interest where the whole question turns into algebra, like quadratic or exponential equations, and that is where you're struggling. So you know that it's not about the concept video, it's more about playing with numbers or handling equations. So you go to that part and just try to see that how the author has solved that equation. So every time, don't go to 30 minutes videos on YouTube, go to the solutions every time. And that is how I believe is the right way. And then you go for your three-star topics quickly and just understand what are the types. For example, in time and work, you will see that there are only five type of problems. There are this two men, three women, and five children are doing something. Or there are, if I A, B, C started the work and C left after a certain time, and then A joined after a certain time. So there are five types. In fact, time in work is something that I'm covering next Saturday, and every masterclass is on my website, imwalabanda.com. And if you find any topic that you're weak at, attend that class. In those 2 hours, I'm sure that at least concept wise, you will be perfect. Then, of course, there will be still difficult questions, but at least you don't have to revisit that particular topic. And finally, just quickly go to the 1 star and go to the concept videos. Even if it's a half an hour video, it's worth it. Just watch it once. And if you're feeling uncomfortable and if you're feeling that it's not for me, then you leave it. Because I told you, it's more important to select the right questions. If you're not getting comfortable in probability, there's no need to master it. And it's more important that we focus on the other topics. So my whole idea is that you are the best judge. If it is not working for you, then leave it in 1 star category only. And in the main exam, don't even bother looking at them. But if you can make up your mind to do 5 to 10 questions, at least easy questions also will work. So you will know that there are these certain type of questions. And once you go through it, and what are the chances? But still, if in the main exam something exactly the same comes, then and you have time left after attempting 2 star and 3 star, then you can focus on that particular 1 star question. I hope that makes sense. Do keep noting your doubts. We'll take it after the session, after this presentation. Now, I know it looks like a mountain, but I told you, na, it's 9th and 10th maths only. So arithmetic algebra, both orange lines you can see. So focus on that. Geometry mensuration sounds exactly like what we used to know in school. So it will take very less efforts and your brain will remember. So you can't leave that. Number system, modern maths, a lot of students do find them uncomfortable, but then again, don't leave the entire thing. Leave those parts which you're not able to understand. Okay. So now our first phase of August and September is gone, and by now we should be knowing all the topics and we should be knowing all the topics that we don't want to learn. So now no one is going back to syllabus, and this is when we have to go do mocks. And if you can find in yourself uh, some belief that I need to touch 99 percentile, then please give at least 15 to 20 mocks in these 2 months and spend double the time analyzing those mocks. I used to give 3 mocks every week and analyze them every alternate day. That is where the real learning happens, and it's fun, it's addictive. Every time you get a 95 percentile, it feels like things are happening, and it's very important for your brain to believe it that it's happening. Sometimes mocks are designed in a way that they are comparatively easy, sometimes they're very hard, but then I have to outperform others, right? So imwalabanda.com will also have very clean mocks every time. Once you do your mock, ping me your overall experience, and if you want to kind of talk about your overall performance and how you're doing, you can always book a half-hour session with me and we can talk about that. But the best judge is you, and you have to see that while analyzing, am I doing silly mistakes, am I not really picking the right questions, and in next mock don't do that. And that is the only way to really improve your score. So analysis के अंदर please put 3 to 4 hours, okay, and keep one milestone. At least I have to touch 80, and once 80 is touched, it took me just 1 month to convert it to 95 percentile. So it's possible, and it's very, very possible. Once you go to it, you will be preaching everyone that, 95 is no big deal. Then it becomes a little tricky to touch 99 and above. But then if this has happened, that will also happen. And there is no scientific concept that can help you. It's just self-belief and practice and training your brain. So keep giving mocks. That is the only crux of this slide. Now, when you're analyzing a mock, I have a very detailed video on my website, on YouTube also, where we talk about how to spend at least 2 hours, 3 hours analyzing the mock. But to give you, like, from a very broad point of view, you have to see the silly mistakes, especially in quant. If you're still making silly mistakes, which will always happen, but if it is happening like a lot, then you need to, like a doctor, you need to see that, okay, this is the first problem, and I will probably double check my calculations, especially in DILR sets where you put so much efforts in simplifying the information, and just because of some silly mistake, you don't want to lose all that time. So, second is question selection. So, if you have left probability and you also left time and work, which was a good topic, just because you struggle with the initial 20 questions and you were never able to touch 21st question, then that is also not good. So what you do is you keep going, at least you have to touch till the end, and then you come back to first question in quant, and then you see which remaining time should be used on which questions. So question selection can only happen once you've seen all the questions. Third is time sinks. You spend some time, 3 hour, 3 minutes, 4 minutes, and you didn't get anything, which will happen. So it's fine. But when you were analyzing, you saw that it was not that difficult of a question. So you did give your 4 minutes out of 40 minutes to someone who did not give anything to you in return. So write down in your diary that, uh, let's say, key mixture and allegations was something that was very related to, related to, let's say, pipes and cisterns. And I did pipes and cisterns, but I left mixtures and allegations. So why was I not able to solve? It's just random examples, but you have to see that where you spent your time and it was possible. Should I have given one more minute and got there? Should I have not given third minute to it when I knew in second minute only that I'm not able to understand? Why was I reading the question again and again? Finally, is there a better approach in the solution? Like, I did it, but I used the three equations in a different way, and the author only uh, derived it with taking 100 as a base and solved it very quickly. So it's good. In fact, if you don't want to see it, then leave it. It's fine. You got the right answer, leave it. But it's always good to have a look and see if there's a better method. And usually there is, especially where you could have assumed some values in something. So always look out for better approaches. So this is my journey, and I will just tell you that when I was preparing, I left my job in uh, almost mid-April, May, and I was trying to really study with my job. And in May, I got 60 percentile only when I gave my first mock. But I was not really able to learn because I had to be on site, take care of work also. But I left my job and my notice period was over by May 15th. And that was when I really started analyzing, learning, and I touched 80 percentile, which was first milestone. It gives you confidence that I jumped so much in just 1 month. So, and then I started doing, as I told you, instead of watching concept videos and all, I just focused on analyzing my mocks, and I was able to get 95 percentile in October. And just 5 days before the actual CAT exam, to be honest, you should not even give mock test in the last week, but I was feeling confident and I got 99 percentile. So you can imagine that once you get a good percentile, especially close to the CAT exam, stop giving the CAT exam and just believe yourself that, you know what, I am at 95 and I touched 99. So something's going to happen. Maybe I'll end up somewhere between, or maybe I'll go beyond 99. On the exam day, I got a 98.3, as I already shared. And probably if I did not get 99, I would not have even expected. I was not even expecting, but the whole idea is because I've touched 99, my body, my mind knows. So it really works. Also, in these 4 months, your brain is going to wander a lot, especially what's going to happen after the exam, which colleges to apply, can I talk to some senior, how is that GDPI and case studies and all that selection criteria work. But why are you thinking about that? Let's say if you don't get a 90 above percentile, you won't even, it's not like that. You still have good options, but you won't feel like you've achieved. You won't feel good about yourself in that way. So, why waste time? Just focus on this and just focus on getting a 90, at least 95 percentile. And then beyond that, magic happens. You never know where you can go, but at least have some milestones. I'll touch 80, I'll touch 90, I'll touch 95, and then let's see where it goes. So don't think about anything beyond that. Because why you should not think? See, once the exam is over, and then you will be focusing a little bit on that and Snap because you've already prepared for that. So there will be a lot of shortlisting. They will ask you to write about your profile. They will ask you to make a portfolio. They will ask you to go through some interesting selection criteria. But at the end of the day, they just want to see that if we have these many applicants with the same percentile, whom should we bet on? Because they are also careful about their brand and they also want the best minds to come to their own campus. So there will be a lot of shortlisting, there will be VAT, GD, and by Feb, you will be done with your interviews. So the good thing is that it's enjoyable. Once you get a 90 above percentile, you will enjoy this whole process. And if you don't get, you know that you will not be able to enjoy that much. So I just wanted you to tell that this 4 months, your only and only focus is what is my next mock percentile, and we will prepare for all of this, right? So you should not worry. Um, so this is where I want to talk about I am Wala Banda. The way I see it, these are the four advantages that I like to believe. One, I want to get my friends who are doing really good in different areas like finance, HR, operations, international business. Some are founders, entrepreneurs. So I have a lot of podcasts where they are sharing their strategy, their experience beyond. So we will kind of get a insight into what is life after I am. I will also share my own stories, but that is one thing that I want to give beyond the CAT and the other exam preparation. Second, to understand what are these verticals, you will get enough time because first year of your MBA, first semester of your MBA is mostly general, where you don't really care about where you want to specialize in, but soon the time comes when you want to know that which courses should I pick and where do I want to major. For example, I am a major in marketing and strategy. So throughout my career, I never really cared about making a career in finance. So it's important, it stays with you. So I have my own people. For example, my brother is a very established chartered accountant and he has couple of videos with me where he's talking about how people make a career in finance. There's another friend of mine who is a CA before he entered into IIMs and how he is doing and how MBA has helped him already being an established CA, how much sense it makes to go for an MBA and he's doing great. So those verticals and their understanding, that is also another thing that I want to give like apart from whatever you expect from this journey. Third is when I was in those 2 years of I am Rohtak, we really liked the way culture was celebrated and the clubs and the committees. So whatever stories I remember now and I can share and I can like try to help you which committees to really focus on and how impactful they are, especially to get your internship. And fourth is real IM stories. Like other than that, the party culture, the food, the case studies, and the competitions. Like from whatever experience you're gonna have will be completely different. But from these stories, you can just manifest better things. And these are all beyond November. But I like to believe that this is something which will stay with you, and that is why I want more and more people to be part of my community. And we are not just being a MBA aspirant, as I told you, we are preparing to be the future managers of our country. So all of these will help in shaping our personality and mindset. And I promise that I will be in touch till the time you get to the first day of your college, even beyond that. But my whole idea is that I am here for everything, like whatever you're going through, because I've been through that journey over the years. Whoever I've connected with, how they have felt about, I've tried to help them to feel better, try to help them to excel in all their pursuits. And they still call me, they still connect with me. Many of them are starting small businesses. So it's always nice to stay connected. And even if nothing works out and this year turns out to be a little disappointing, and you know that you have potential to go for higher percentile, then obviously now that you're connected, I don't care till the time you get to your dream college, even if it takes CAT 2027. I would love to have you guys stay connected on the house. There's no money involved, just free next year, and I hope that it doesn't go to that. But even if it does, it's for good, so it's fine. Do check out my video on YouTube where I'm talking about my journey pre and post IM. I also did preparation in the first year of when I was in final year of college, and I scored very bad. I don't even want to remember that percentile because I was not preparing well. But then I got a 98.3 next year. So who cares about things that will go wrong? It's fine. At least I gave my best in next 4 months, right? Finally, this is again talking about the website. So do check out imwalabanda.com. On the page of theater, you will see all the videos in a very clean format where you know that if I have to do one RC every day, you can keep following that RC series one day at a time. If you are going for DILR set, I pick one good DI set and solve it. And that can be like the easiest way to touch one set every day. Similarly, for LR, you can go alternate. Once you check my DI set, then you check my LR set. I'm naming them as series LR set 1, LR set 2, DI set 1. Second is the boardroom, where we are pushing very interesting articles where what is happening. For example, we are in a cave and we don't really know what is happening in the world, but when we are giving the interviews, we are expected to at least have some idea about what is happening in the world. Read those articles, and if you really feel like, comment on those articles. Every manager should have opinions. So you should not be shying away that should I comment or not. If you really feel like voicing your thoughts, that is why this page is created. And at least if no one reads, I will read and I will comment. So check out that. Third is one-on-one mentoring. So just like a doctor, I believe that every time you want to connect, check my calendar, book a half-hour session, and we can simply talk about what was your last mock performance or what are the exact problems you are facing in whatever section it is, or if it is a personal problem, if you are facing some mental issues, or if you are really going through some other problem and I can try to help in that, I would love to. So go book a session and don't just stay isolated. Always approach for solutions, and something good always comes when you talk to someone. And this is also, I wanted to share that every Saturday, Sunday, 4 to 6, I will come online and I will take one topic. You can check out in the roadmap page on my website. And if nothing, then at least go and take that. For example, next Saturday, as I told you, time and work is there. If you feel that this topic is a little weak, come join me for 2 hours. See how I teach, see how the concepts are, and how everything gets repeated after a while. It's not that difficult. So let's see. Let's see. If you want to join, feel free to join. There is all the list is on the website. And the way I have made it is first we'll focus on quant, then we will take DLR, and then VARC, and then mock test. So instead of having multiple channels, there's just one uh, direction we are going in, and you can join in as per your own requirements. So, two things to approach me. One is you join those Saturday, Sunday masterclass, and second is every day from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Find a half hour slot in my calendar on the homepage of the website and book that and come. Let's see if I can help. And if you feel like it, you can always book a follow up session. And the whole idea is that you will have a particular set of problem which I cannot cover in these general videos. So that is why you have to approach. Nothing is impossible, and it's more about taking the first step and looking at the bigger picture. Also, some bonus tips. Do write in your diary every day that I am aiming for a 99 percentile, and I want to show gratitude to God to give me courage to go on this journey. Write it in your diary, and maybe it will help, maybe it will not, but believe in yourself and give good thoughts to your mind. And also, this is just something that I personally believe in. If you write every day, what have you done for CAT exam? Like, what step have you taken? And next day, you again write, what have you done today? This really helps. This really keeps you accountable for what are you doing. So this is what I thought I would like to cover uh, in this video about the 4 month strategy. If you have anything specific, you know how to approach me. And thank you so much for joining. Now I will open the floor so that you can take your personal topics one by one, and whoever wants to leave can leave. But if you want to stay, it's good. Let's see what other aspirants are facing. Maybe you are also facing the same. So thank you for silently listening for last 1 hour, I guess. And the floor is open.